Warning, the time wasted watching this video is non-refundable.
You are watching Donny TV.
Hey, what's up, artist Dirty Donny Gillies here. Today on Donny TV, we have something a little bit different. It's kind of more of a podcasty sort of episode. I got together with a couple of buddies of mine. I hadn't seen them in a while. One guy is Blag from the Dwarves, and the other guy is Kozik, the artist. Anyways, I thought it would be cool if I got both of them together and we just kind of told stories and hung out. Today's going to be a two-parter, and we basically just sat around and told stories and stuff. Went down to Blag's house, picked him up in the van, and then we fired over to Kozik's studio in San Francisco. And well, hey, there you have it. Check it out.
You're watching Donny TV.
Over the banquet's rolling. The crucifix is now my love left. Escape forward in this way only. The crucifix is now my love.
Move around with it, put it in your pocket, and like when I'm fucking flying a lot for work, so traveling, and I need something to do, and this has been awesome. I'll just turn it on and start talking, and all right, I'm in fucking Australia, or I'm in like Louisville,
we just got back from tour. We did some cool shows. We played New York. We did the whole Young and Good Looking record. Which is nice.
I heard
like now,
that.
people kind of like you to pick out a whole record and do. So we did Blood Guts a couple years ago for the 25th anniversary, and now for 20th anniversary of Young and Good Looking, we did that a couple of times. We did it in Chicago and one in New York, and we played a few shows. Old punker bands, and Murphy's Law, and JFA, and we played
sweet.
with Upper Crust in Boston. I love those.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, they're great.
I do it so I can keep making records, because to me that's my art. Same way you do that book, and then you kind of got to go out and hustle it. That's the same thing. It's like I make these records, and that's what I put my energy and thought into, and then you just go out and play and kind of let the chips fall where they may. But the
sounds like the same thing, totally. Yeah.
I would take a right here, and then when you hit full, you take a left.
Donny TV.
Everyone's yelling. I prefer the term legendary, frankly, but however you want to go.
And would we be able to have a...
What's up,
Just make a helicopter. Is that
What
a
you doing?
thing? One of us is.
You told me another story one time about when you lived with Ron Turner.
I used to rent space, Last Gasp has that big building down on Florida Street. When I first moved here, the reason I moved here is he gave me I got a book deal from Last Gasp, my first book, and I came out to to visit him and get paid and all that shit. And it was like a beautiful sunny day in the Mission. This is a long time. This is like 1992. Mission was still pretty crappy. And they had a space on 20th in Florida, which, if you know San Francisco, used to be kind of a rough neighborhood, back then. And so it was like this beautiful sunny day. I was really sort of bored of living in Texas, ready to move on anyways. And Turner handed me this pile of cash. I think he gave me it's $5,000 advance or something, and it was a lot of money back then. And he had just finished fixing up that big building, and he had built these live workspaces on the ground floor. And he's all check this out. I'm doing it. Yeah, you should move out here. And I'm like, okay, sure. Let me rent this one. I gave him back some of his money, rented the space, went back to Texas, packed my shit, and came back out. And then I realized that, the weather here sucks, and the neighborhood is super dangerous. I had a gun pulled on me the first week.
And especially back then, it had the least attractive women in California. You came out expecting a bunch of beach bunnies, and it was like San Francisco.
I was fooled by a sunny afternoon, basically. And then I proceeded to hate my life for the next 2 years until finally I got a decent apartment and got my shit together.
Yeah.
So that's my connection to Turner back then.
You told me a story about a guy breaking into a car.
Yeah, so the deal is that back then, Florida Street, right? It's a really wide street.
I used to work making the T-shirts in the place
right.
next
So
door
the gimmick. So back then,
for Ron Turner.
Right. So back then, what would happen at night on Florida Street is they shut out all the street lights, and they would boost a car, and this boosted car and a bunch of guys in a van would pull up. Guys would pick a pile out of the van, strip the car for all its shit, throw all the parts in the van, and take off. Like that was like where they would strip the cars on the fly down there on Florida Street. Because you got to understand, back then, early 90s, 20th in Florida, like it was nice during the day, but the minute the sun went down, it was like shift change. Like all the scumbags came out. You know, there's like a dude down there killing a hooker with a hammer. It was the Cap Street Killer. Remember that guy? Chinese guy that was killing the hookers. Wow. That was like, you know, 2 blocks away. So I had no idea. So this little space I was living in, there was like a little bathroom with a window. And so like 3 nights in, I'm in the bathroom, like taking a piss, looking out the little window, and I see this happen. I'm looking at these guys, and I'm, oh fuck, they're stripping a car. And one of the dudes sees me looking out this little window, and pulls out a piece, right? Now back then, I was like fresh out of Texas. I had militia buddies. I was armed, right? I brought all my shit with me. And I got super pissed. Like it just fucking pissed me off, right? Because I was, you know, a lot younger and a lot more stupid then. So I had an AK-47. So I'm like, okay, motherfucker. I got super pissed, grabbed the AK, walked outside just in my underwear, okay? Fucking racked that fucking thing. Okay, who dies first? Like, I totally lost my mind, right? It's a true story. And they all just dropped their shit and, like, got in the van and left. And it was awesome is from then on, they would do their shit down the block. They would never come to that corner again. And I got to think about, okay, so, like, what did they see? It's like 3 in the morning. Here's a big, fat, white dude in his underwear with a machine gun. I'm like, I probably freaked them out pretty bad. They probably hadn't experienced that before, I would imagine. Right? You know? And then I realized, like, okay, that was like the dumbest thing ever, you know, and then slowly got rid of the arsenal and became a citizen. But I was paranoid. Like, I used to carry a 45. You know, the early days at the bottom of the hill, I was packing. I was paranoid for a while, dude, because, you know, San Francisco, like, skis me the fuck out. So I don't fucking walk around with a 45 in a fucking upside-down holster for, like, the first year.
Yeah, there's nothing like gentrification to change shit around like that. I was never armed because I always knew, like, I'm not great with objects. You put me in a car, you put me with a gun, I'm going to fuck it up one way or the other. So I always knew if I have a gun, the combination of my big mouth, my bad temper, and my retardation with objects was going to... I was going to wind up shooting myself in the fucking foot.
I packed every night for the first year. Until I moved into my neighborhood up here, and then this neighborhood's mellow at night, and I didn't pack anymore.